A week on from the highs and lows of Assen, the superbike circus has arrived in Germany. Only a major error from Hager could hand the momentum back to Edwards here at Oschersleben. It came in qualifying. Another crash which again left him starting 16th. An on-form Edwards took the first race, and Yamaha was suddenly faced with the realization that race 2 could almost decide the title. Corsa, sitting third in the championship behind Hager and Edwards, seemed in reflective mood as he waited for the start. He knows that he can only remain in contention if both his rivals fail to finish. It's crunch time. If Edwards can win race 2, with Hager finishing no higher than 5th, the Texan will have one hand on the championship crown. Only the Court of Appeal could save the day for Hager. Textbook start for Edwards sees him lead the field on the first lap. Behind him, Corsa's Aprilia suffered its first mechanical failure of the year. He's out of the race, and any dreams of winning the title are over.
+5 on the bottom. Okay.
Half distance, and the Texas Tornado has a commanding lead and seems to be closing his grip on the title. But behind him, Hager's moving swiftly through the field. As the laps run out, Hager's pit crew can only watch in frustration. He's up to 5th, but it's not good enough. Edwards has dominated all weekend, with pole position and an emphatic double win. The title is almost his, but there's the sting in the tail.
We're not quite there, but what a dream, eh?
I know, I can't breathe.
Thanks, man. Is that right?
No.
2 points in front, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Now I can get some sleep. Oh, good ride.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, words don't describe. Take this.
Okay. Okay.
I'll be back.
Oh, calm down. No. You need some look, yeah?
No, I can't. There you
Mathematically, Edwards has done enough. He's 52 points clear of Hager, with only 50 up for grabs. But that may change when Yamaha's appeal is heard, just before the final round at Brands Hatch. As Edwards heads off for the sanctuary of his pit garage, he knows he's the champion, but he's unable to officially claim the title, and the celebrations will have to be reserved for another day.
Where are the boys at? Rob and Craig.
Just got the bike right
What's up?
Got a brand. Just gotta brand and do it. I don't know that side of it. I hope.
So what's the story? Why can't they say?
No, we just got to go and beat them at brands, and then there's no answer. You know. as long as
Chris
we...
said it wasn't an issue, that they weren't debating it.
No, but I mean,
That's what Chris told me.
in the end, I mean, we want to beat them by more than 45
Oh,
points,
for sure.
50 points
For
to make
sure.
it. So we go to Brands, we beat them,
Just to
and
make
then
it.
there's no argument.
Still.
No argument.
No argument then.
Mm.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they've declared it or not, but that'll do me.
I'm declaring it.
Yeah.
Christmas of 1977, I bought the first little JR50 Suzuki and put it on the Christmas tree. We lived in a second-story apartment too, and I carried it up the stairs and put it on the tree. That was the first one.
You know, people say you don't remember things under the age of 4 or 5 or whatever, but I remember that day like it was yesterday. I walked downstairs and there it was, sparkling, sitting right under the Christmas tree. I think in the beginning it was, he was always into motorcycles, you know. He built a couple of bikes for guys to race whenever he was younger, and hell, he was a nut on the road, you know, on the street. He thought he was Ricky Racer, you know, every time he went out on his bike. And I used to go out on the back with him, and yeah, it was a good time. And when I started motocrossing, he was tenfold into it. I mean, you know, we got deep into debt just so we could keep racing motorcycles. I mean, there was nothing else involved except he'd go to work 9 to 5 every day, come back home and build the bikes for racing.
He raced motocross for 11 years, and then he said one day, Dad, he said, he was 85 pounds, about 13 years old, going on 14. And the kids he was racing with, 15, 16 years old, he said, Dad, them guys are going to kill me out there, because he used to beat them. That was the problem, you know. And I said, well, if that's what you feel, you don't need to be doing it anymore. If you think you don't need to be doing it, that's what we need to go fishing. And he stayed out for a year, and then he got a street bike, got his license when he was 16. And we went to the races one day, and he said, man, this is easy, I gotta go do this. So we went from there.
Came from the West Virginia
coal mines and the Rocky Mountains and the Western Stripe.
Skin a buck, we can run a traffic line and then a country board can supply. What's shaking, man?
Hi, mate.
You doing all right?
Yeah. What's the name of the rider?
Troy Courser.
Yeah. Colin Smudge. Yeah, Troy Courser's mobile homes here.
Yeah, no problem. You can send him down.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay.
All right,
Have
thanks.
a good weekend.
Yeah, thanks.
It's Thursday lunchtime, and the Sports Arbitration Court in Lausanne, Switzerland, has finally heard the Haga appeal. The long-awaited news of their decision is just filtering through.
Yeah. We have to stand up in his presence now, I suppose, won't we? Yeah, as well.
I've got about 1,000 and...
Well, we're sitting here eating our dinner, and they've just come and told us that the result of Haga's appeal yesterday, which is that he's lost. They've given him the points back for the first race of the year at Kalami, but the second race at Kalami they've kept the points off, and then they banned him for 3 weeks from today, so he can't ride here this weekend. So effectively, he can't catch us now, so we're world champions. So, yeah, it's a bit of a strange sort of way to, you know, normally it'd be on the pit wall with the emotion of doing it, you know. You're sitting here eating your dinner and somebody says it, it's all a bit strange. You know?
Yeah. Feel all right, I guess.
Record-breaking crowds in South Africa, Australia, Italy, America, and even Spain verified the global standing of world superbikes. Great Britain, its spiritual home, again saw huge crowds. Although the numbers were marginally down on the 1999 Fogarty Mania totals, they were still the UK's biggest motorsports events of the year. Resplendent in his new world champion decorated leathers, Edwards was in fine form. The new Superbike champion had plenty to smile about, having just put pen to paper, signing a new lucrative contract with the Castrol Honda team. It was time to tell the world.
Just releasing the news about Colin signing for next year. Well, he's re-signed, so defend the championship with Castrol Honda, second year on the VTR, so pretty straightforward really. And really trying to play down the main story, I think, for the press. I think everybody knew that he was going to re-sign, but the main story is who the teammate's going to be, and just playing that down a little bit, because we don't at this moment know, you know, so there's not a great deal you can say to people.
After 7 years with the Castrol Honda team, and the runner-up in the championship twice, it's time for Aaron Slight to say farewell. Slight quietly reflects. As one of the elder statesmen of the superbike paddock, he's seen it all before. Previous teammates include former world champions Doug Poland, Cole Fogarty, John Kosinski, and now Colin Edwards.
At HRC, there's 50 people who worked on this project. They're not in it to win for Colin Edwards or win it for Aaron Slight, they're in it to win for Honda. I mean, sure, because Colin rides first and Aaron rides first, they want them to win, but in the end, they want them to win because they're riding a Honda.
Frankie knows he's there. He's right with the world champion as they climb out. Honda versus Suzuki. America versus Italy. Well, they brought this new bike out at the beginning of the season at Kyalami in South Africa and won its first race. Colin Edwards has debuted a new set of leathers and will win its first race. Talking about the leathers, that is. He has won 6 races in the 2000 season. This will be number 7. What a day for Neil Tuxworth, the entire team. And the Texas Tornado is victorious. The final race of the year. The world champion does it in style.
Aaron Slight's swan song was 8th place. It didn't really matter. After all his problems, he'd still hauled himself into a respectable 8th in the championship and was going out in style. After 9 years of racing in the series, the nearly man of world superbikes may have never won the championship, but the popular Kiwi certainly won the hearts of the fans. A great ambassador for the sport who will be surely missed.
If Colin can win back-to-back world championships, he's definitely, you know, getting near Carl's caliber. But it's doing it back-to-back that's hard.
Get up here, man.
Hey, man. You want it?
I got it.
Woo. Mate, what a way to go. First one and the last one.
I don't know or expect anybody to believe that I'm the best. I let my record stand for itself. But if you do the math, I mean, I've been racing motorcycles for 23 years. You know, I'm 26 years old. This is all I know. This is all I've ever done. This is all I've ever known.
You can't take anything away. Mate, it's unreal.
This is my life, you know. Me, motorcycles, you know, this is all I've done, and if I can't be world champion at it, something's wrong, you know, because I've got so much experience at it, and if you do the math, you start to understand.
The highlight of the season was probably, about 8 months ago when I woke up out of my operation. I was still alive.
Hey, hell with the handshake.